One dead after the cyber Tesla truck explodes in Trump Tower in Las Vegas. And there is a lot of weird stuff happening there.
This was the scene from inside the lobby of the Trump International Hotel just after 8:30 Wednesday morning. A 2024 Tesla Cybertruck engulfed in flames in the valet area just outside the main doors.
We saw sparks. It was pretty fast.
This surveillance video caught the moment that Cybertruck exploded.
I just heard a boom.
Oh my God.
Investigators say the truck had just parked at the hotel.
It was sitting in the porte cochere for about 15 seconds before it exploded.
It was like a firework. It was popping sound, bang sound, and a lot of sparks fly.
As police moved to evacuate the 64-story hotel, firefighters worked quickly to put out the fire.
Once the fire went out through the suppression efforts of the fire department, you'll see some of the evidence in the back of the vehicle. So those are gasoline canisters, they are camp fuel canisters, and large firework mortars.
Police also said that because this explosion happened in a Cybertruck, the damage was very limited. Tesla CEO Elon Musk explained why in a statement on social media, writing, quote, "The evil knuckleheads picked the wrong vehicle for a terrorist attack."
Like, what's the right vehicle for a terrorist attack? Like, it doesn't, it's a strange way to talk about things. Also, Elon Musk had to change his account immediately. He changed his name to like Kekius Maximus or whatever. Unfortunately for him, this happened, so he couldn't keep his account as Kekius Maximus, and he had to change it back to Elon Musk immediately to do PR.
And I remind you that the subject inside wasn't able to be removed for a very long period of time because he was burnt beyond recognition. And so as we continue to move through this, I'm going to talk a little bit about his identity and what we believe, but I would like to highlight a couple of things that the teams found inside of the Cybertruck that are useful to the investigation. And that, first and foremost, is a military identification. We also found a passport. We found a Desert Eagle 50 caliber semi-automatic pistol. And if you'll notice on a lot of these guns that we're going to talk about here, they're almost just burnt beyond recognition as well. There's a SLR model B30 semi-automatic firearm, number of fireworks that were still in the vehicle that had to be removed. Notably, we found an iPhone.
Yeah, I mean, the man suspected of being behind the Tesla Cybertruck explosion in Las Vegas was a big supporter of Donald Trump and voted for him in November. Dude, I don't know what is going on in the United States of America. I'm willing to, I mean, this in and of itself reads very weird. It reads very strange. This story is weird. It's like, I don't know anymore. I don't know if it's like a psyop, or I don't know if it's a psyop, or if people are just unwell. Like it's a very, very weird story. Gonna be real funny if this guy was just a hog who had tons of fireworks to celebrate and just blew up by accident. Dude, I'm not gonna lie, I got nothing. I just don't know. I don't know what the hell is going on. I don't know what is happening. I feel like people are unwell, so it's difficult to ascertain whether or not this is a byproduct of people that are unwell, or if it's, I don't know, the State Department activating a sleeper cell in the wrong time or something. I don't know. But I also feel like one of those like Trump supporters who always is like, after every mass violence incident, like after every mass shooting, they're like, oh, it's a psyop. To do what? I don't know. You know what I mean? If you were to come at me and ask me, okay, what's the psyop? I have no answer for you. Do you know what I mean? What is happening? What is going on? Like the ISIS one makes kind of sense from a psyop angle. It's like instilling fear about ISIS, but ISIS also doesn't make sense. Like it would be better if you were going to do if I'm the government and I want to manufacture consent and instill fear in the heart of Americans, I would probably not hit an ISIS angle. I would hit a Hamas angle. I would be like, oh, this guy was a supporter of Hamas, or this guy was a supporter of like Iran or something. You know what I mean? Or he's a Chinese supporter. He's a supporter of the CCP or something. Like, it doesn't make sense. When you say ISIS, people go, ISIS 2025 doesn't make any sense. His wife was an anti-Trump person in 2016. Wait, are you talking about NOLA guy or Las Vegas? If this guy has a wife and also is a divorced dad, I'm going to lose my mind, because then both of the people are the Vegas guy. So both of the people are possibly former wife guys turned divorce guys? Dude, I just don't get it. I don't get it. I don't understand what is going on. I'll be honest with you. I'm going to be very, very honest with you. This stuff is just like, I don't know. I'm at a loss for words here. Like even Matthew Thomas Crooks being a registered Republican and then shooting at Donald Trump because he was like, I'll kill any president that comes into my neighborhood. I don't even care. Like looking at his background, looking at his profile, looking at his like political ideology and trying to figure out what was going on, it just kind of reads as a guy who was a loser and wanted glory for himself and thought, if I shoot at any president that comes into Pennsylvania, into my quiet suburb, I'll get it. Instead of doing a mass shooting, I'm just going to do this instead. So that part, albeit crazy for any other country, makes a lot of sense for America because gun violence is a constant part of our lives. But then you have NATO guy Ryan Ruth, who is also a former Trump voter, who bricked his brain and also was spending a lot of time, it seems, around Fort Bragg, partially because he had 1,000 combat-ready Afghan troops that were NATO trained, ready to go, ready to operate in Ukraine. That was his thing. Ukraine was his big thing. He was a Ukraine guy. That's weird. That's a weird situation. Now you have 2 other vets that have also spent time at Fort Bragg. 2 other vets in 2 separate parts of the country. 1 active duty service member, 1 veteran. Both spent time at Fort Bragg. Both went to Afghanistan. Don't know if the other vet is, don't know if the NOLA guy was also a Trump voter, but like, they both use Turo to rent cars. They're both electric vehicles. Like, I don't know what's happening. It's weird. Why doesn't it make sense? Why is it hard for you to believe these guys did it in their own? It's not the first time someone or a group of people were radicalized and did an attack and pledged allegiance to ISIS. You sound like a MAGA hog. What is an acceptable reason for you? I don't think you need to be like a MAGA hog to look at a situation like this and go, it's a little odd that the first day of the new year led to 2 veterans popping off in very different ways in different parts of the country. You know, I think it's weird if you assume they're connected via their divorces. No, I don't think they're connected via their divorces. The guy is not even divorced. This guy is not even divorced. I'm saying that like there is a point of radicalization for both of these people, most likely. If this wasn't an accident, because we still don't know exactly what happened here. We don't know what the motive is. We just know the person's background. And it's weird. The background is weird.
Our subject is 37-year-old Matthew Livelsberger. He's of Colorado Springs, Colorado, born July 22nd of 1987. Now, as you'll see here on a picture of his driver's license, let's see, the question really still remains for me, and I know that there's a lot of you folks in the media that are identifying this person as the person in our vehicle. As I mentioned to you already, his body is burnt beyond recognition, and I do still not have confirmation.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy that his name is Life is Burger, okay? This is like, I'm done. I can't even. Dude, come on. Life is Burger? Life is Burger? Life is Gun? Gun and Burger? Gun Burger? Is this a joke? We're not a serious country, man. We are a deeply unserious nation.
Now, I would like to acknowledge a couple of things because I know what's going on in the social media world, and there are a number of things in this case that are similar to the attack in New Orleans. We do know that our subject here served in the military. In fact, he's a current member of the military. Both of the subjects served at Fort Bragg, North Carolina.
Dude, this is gonna brick people. I mean, it's bricking me, so I get it. It's even bricking my brain. It makes no damn sense, bro. I mean, it's just so close to one another at the same time. Like, it's just, I'm sure it's pure happenstance. It's purely coincidental that there are so many like similarities. Like, these people have like crossed paths in the past as well. I'm not saying it's connected to one another, for the record. I'm not saying that. By the way, while we're having this conversation, there are a lot of weird parts about the story with Matthew Hamburger guy, okay? It still could be an accident. Like, they haven't really figured out what's going on. Now there's also evidence that he had a gunshot, like a self-inflicted, potentially gunshot wound. So, like, what does that mean? Like, we don't know if someone like, how does he accidentally shoot himself? Okay, there's 2 options here. 1, electrical circuit failure inside of the Tesla. Okay, here, hold on. Hold on 1 second. Let me put the conspiracy music on. Matthew Leifesberger arrives at Trump Tower, excited to stay in his favorite president's hotel institution. He's arrived in Las Vegas in a Tesla Cybertruck. He's excited to eat burger at Gordon Ramsay's famous burger institution, also cleverly titled Burger. However, he's also brought his weapons with him because Las Vegas, when you go out to Las Vegas, there are a lot of gun ranges that you can go and shoot your gun at. Maybe he's going to hang out with some of his military buddies. He realizes that the fireworks that he brought forth after an electrical circuit failure inside of the Tesla Cybertruck start catching fire. He realizes in that moment that the Tesla Cybertruck has automatically locked him in. Instead of dying to self-immolation, he pulls out his Desert Eagle and kills himself. Or, here's another conspiracy. Matthew Leifesberger gets to Trump Tower, excited for the time off that he has with his buddies. Again, electrical circuit failure causes the fireworks that he brought with him that he was going to explode, and maybe even the Tannerite, and shoot in the Las Vegas desert. Start catching fire. Tesla doors are locked. He's desperately trying to get out of the car, but the car catches fire. In that eruption, the Desert Eagle goes off and actually domes him. There you go. Bro, he had gallons of gas in the back with the fireworks. No way it was an accident. Or, okay. Green Beret Matthew Leifesberger, famous for conducting dark money shadow operations and special operations all around the world, fucks over the wrong cartel boss. So the cartel boss kills him, dumps him in the car. They've also figured out how to do Tesla self-driving, Cybertruck self-driving. The Cybertruck self-drives with the dead Matthew Leifesberger in it, and then they detonate it remotely outside of Trump Tower. Now you're making stuff up? Yeah, I am. Everything that I'm saying is made up. But also, yeah, the fireworks and all the guns and stuff, you might be thinking is weird to bring to Las Vegas. But there is a valid reason for why he might have brought that. Like, he might have genuinely, not saying that this is the case, but he might have genuinely brought all of those fireworks and like gas canisters and everything else to like go out in the desert and shoot stuff. Also, Seth Harp is a veteran who writes extensively on the Rolling Stones, writing a book on this as well. The Fort Bragg murders. At least 44 Fort Bragg soldiers died stateside in 2020. Several of them were homicides. Families want answers, but the army isn't giving any. Fort Bragg is a very weird place, which makes things even a little bit more unique and interesting.